Alright, I got the bumper mocked up today. I'd like to point out that I haven't welded anything in years, and I just got a very small 110 flux core unit. So I just mainly got this put together today so that it fits on the truck real nice, and I can take this to a buddy of mine in Inola, the guy you saw in a previous video, Brad, and he's going to burn this in with a stick welder, and then we'll get it all ground smooth and put the bed liner on it, and then eventually I'll go ahead and put the plate in there, and I'll put the 12,000 pound Warren winch in. Also, I do have to make some modifications though, because my tires aren't going to fit. I can't use the end caps at all. The tires are just too big. So I'm going to have to modify them the way they are now and make a few cuts so that whenever I'm making turns under articulation, it doesn't hit this bumper. But it's still going to maintain most of its integrity and its strength, so that's what's important. Well, gonna start working on the bumper. It's a move bumper. It's heavy. I really don't want to put this extra weight up here, but I really don't want to put the extra weight up there at all. But you know, and I don't want to close off the air dam that lets the air into the intercooler and such. But I kind of need a bumper that's a little more than what that is now. Now that's just a shell of a bumper. It's not none of the tabs that held it in place on the outer edges are there anymore, so it's not very strong. Oh, here we go. Man, I ate way too much food. I'm dying. I'm going to open it like this. Is there an easy side of this?
Loud noises!
Here's the thing. This is the very front of the bumper. Look at this. Right here. You see how big that is? 4.5 inches by about 20. Look at that. And that's going to be plugged off. Nothing. No flow. I mean, it just, there's flow up top, but there's nothing. Like, I may not put the winch in the bumper. I may put 2 receivers on either side of this and cut all this out. Oh, hey, instructions. I wonder if the instructions for how to open the box are in here. Oh, good. Staples in bad places. Seriously? There we go. Yep. Very clear instructions. Everybody commented on that. For removing your factory bumper. Oh, wait, never mind. Let's add 200 pounds to the front of the truck. The winch mount, I do believe. There. This is a full bar that I'm not going to use, I don't think. We'll see what it looks like with and without it. Using my mounting brackets. Yeah, mounting brackets. There's more pieces in the other video I watched. What I'll do is I'll bevel the hell out of them, I'll tack them into place, run one bead, and then take it to Brad and let him burn it with a stick real hot. Jesus. This thing just weighs a ton. I do not want to put this on a mount. It is never going to fit in there. That's why I'm ordering it. Yeah, that is not going to fit in there. Probably about that much.
It's usually the other direction, right? It's usually that much too small, right?
Yeah, but in this case, it's just that much too big. So I ordered the Warren that went with this bumper. So this will go on a trailer or on the back of the truck. So if I put this on a hitch on the back of the truck, that'd be pretty good. But here's the thing. If I dig in a little bit, like there's no way that Warren's really gonna be able to pull this truck. So I'm enough anchor for a 12,000 pound Warren winch to pull something out without having to anchor the truck too much anything else. Maybe a little bit, depends on how slick it is, but the truck weighs close to, when it's all outfitted, it's gonna weigh over 9,000 pounds. Now the 17,000, if I was to use that, it would definitely have enough power to pull just straight pull the truck with the tires locked up. So, and probably rip the bumper off. All right, it's later in the day. Took a little break, so you know it's hot. It's not really hot. It's just humid as out here, and so they don't have what I want at Lowe's or what I need. These are like grade 10, or they're really good bolts, and the ones at Lowe's are not. So I need to reuse those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut these welds right here on either side of this, so that I can maintain this this bolt plate here. This won't get in the way of the new bumper, so, or at least it doesn't look like it will. So that's what I'm going to try, so that I don't have to wait for a week on shit to arrive from Amazon. So yeah, too short. I need longer ones, and I need heavy duty washers, because that's, as you can see, the size difference there. Those bolts want to pull through that. When you're fabricating stuff like this on a bending press and a stamping out steel, it doesn't always come out exactly the same every time. So look over here. First, let's look on the good side. This side's been good. The whole truck, nothing's been off. You'll see that these planes are all relatively in line. Easy to fill those and weld them up and grind them smooth all the way around. Now you come over to this side and you'll notice that the bumper and the side piece here are not. And you look all the way down here and it's really way off. Way off. So what I've got to do is, this line matches up pretty good. So I'm going to actually, like you can see, I put some pretty decent welds here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the bumper down. I'm going to cut this weld here. Then I'm going to cut the welds, or I don't have a weld down there. And I'm just going to use some vice grips to pull these into place before I weld them up. Same down here. And it will cause it to distort a little bit as I weld it, but it is what it is. You know, it's in position up here perfectly, just like the rest of the bumper, but over here it's not. So we'll see how this works, and if I have to make some other adjustments later. I mean, you can see right here it's actually hitting, and I'm hoping that when I pull this down here like that, it actually fixes that issue. So what I want to pay attention to is that I do this one down here before I do this one up here, so that it pulls it down before I bend this up. I am done for the day. I hate this. I hate this. This is not fun. Yeah, see, I don't even know. You're killing me. Just turn it off.
Yeah, okay, I turned it off.
No, you didn't. You shut the... Bleep, 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 bleep. Yeah, that's about what you're going to hear. Just turn it off, seriously.
I did.
No, you didn't. I'm going to turn it off for you.
Okay.
I got to get...
You're building the...
Getting ready to...
It's an external winch mounting bracket that's removable, right?
Yeah. Really shouldn't do this on my floor.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that is so good. Oh, that's so good.
I have holes in the tops of the bumpers, so I'll be able to reach these.
There it is. Oh yeah, it is inside where you thought it'd be.
It's going to be a difficult cut with the tools I have. I'd like to keep these rounded, but the only way to do that would be to cut way inside of the radius and then grind everything out to the line. That's like really time consuming, so no, well, I'm just going to cut it. It'd be great if I had a plasma cutter, but what I'm working on here is the final cut for the bumper to allow the tires to fully clearance. So I think I'm just going to basically come up and in another 1.5 inches here, and then come down about 1 foot from that point there. And then come straight down and then have like a radius. I'm not going to fade to it. I'm just going to come down and have a slight radius to there, I think. I think that might work. Probably shouldn't dive with this.
How else would you do it? Yay! Oh yeah! What do you think?
I like that. Like I said, I don't find this to be very structural anymore, but I can always weld it from the inside a little bit and grind that smooth. So I'm going to do the other one. See, these welds is what would hold it out so that it doesn't fit. So if I just ground these and it just knocked off real easy, I was going to remove it. It was about 140.
How much did you say?
About 140, 50 pounds. I mean, I haven't reinforced this yet, so it's not really usable yet, but proof of concept here. Move actually did not want the components back, so I just reused the plate that Move provided to as the mount plate. I can always, we're going to reinforce a lot of this obviously, but and I still have to put a plate up front here, and then I have to put a thing up front here to hold the rope guide and all that. So just a loose fit here. So yeah. I'll have the plug somewhere down here, you know, right in this area.
Right here?
Yeah, somewhere. Well, not cut in, but like mounted underneath here. So I can just, I'll have it like mounted to something spacing it down up here through the couple holes.
Got it.
This pin, though, is quite easy. There we go. See how easy it is to put in now. Yep.
Just mushing these cables here.
I'm going to make some back stops so that when I push it in, it stops right at the point where the pins engage. And I'll probably not like grind down, but I'll probably use like a sanding disc and polish these shafts so that it's a little bit smoother. You'll also notice if you look in here, that radiator that you would block off if you were to use a standard winch has full airflow now that I've cut this out, and also these tubes basically direct air right into it as well. So I haven't really lost any airflow. Good morning. Well, today I'm going to be finally doing the install on the compressor and hooking up the locker and all that in the power. Come on out here. Good boy. He's just now learning to use his dog door. I want to discuss the gear set real quick. I've had a few people question the gear set that I've used, the ratio actually. And a listed approved gear ratio from Dana is a 7/17. These are 6/17s. So it's like putting 4/88s in your Dana 44. Yeah, the pinion does get a little small, but you know, I'm aware of that, so I'm not going to be abusing the front end, like doing hard jerks, you know, in reverse from the front bumper. So the strength of the axle is, it's a Dana 80 axle, guys. The tubes are 4-inch. They're 1/2-inch wall. The outer knuckles and the U-joints used on the shafts are right off of a Dana 80. So the only difference is the 1.15-inch ring gear difference. This is a 10.1, a Dana 80 is an 11.25. The rear, if you're curious, the M300 is an 11.1, I believe. So that's basically the new version of a Dana 80 in the back. And this is a Dana 80 housing, knuckles, in U-joints with the Dana 60 internals. So what does that achieve? You get the same strength. You get a 7,000 pound axle up front, where the old 60 was around a 4,000 to 5,000 pound axle, but you get the ground clearance of a Dana 60 differential. All right, so right now I'm just removing all the plastic components and stuff that I'm gonna need to be able to run the airline and the power. I've also got behind the seat here, I've got this sound dampening pad I need to pull out, or mostly out. That way I can start mounting the power strips to the back wall. Then I need to locate the position of the compressor. I'll need to cut some holes in the carpet for the power lines to come through, and the same with the airline. At that point, I can go ahead and run the electrical from the compartment back, the engine compartment back to here, and also run the airline from up front down through here. At which point I'll actually go ahead and install the compressor, hook up the airline, then connect the power and test everything. I'm going to keep the grounds as short as possible, but I am going to leave just a little bit here. Yes, I'm going to try to mark a black line with a black marker. This one I'm going to leave run this long so that I always have a little slack under the carpet here. It'll hide right like this. You'll never know it's there. I'm going to start off by cutting the line to the length. These are not the most reliable, but they work pretty well. T. Close that. Go ahead and get set up here. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. And there's my positive. Here is the wiring harness for the compressor unit. All you'll be able to see are the lines sticking up here. The one going, of course, over here, and the power line coming up right here. So it'll be pretty clean. So what I'm doing right here is I'm basically laying everything out. I've already done this once. I'm just showing you basically what I just did because I forgot to turn the camera on. And now that I've got these punched, I'm going to drill the holes out. Once those are done, I'll go ahead and mount the compressor and mount it. I think I'll need washers, but got rid of these a bit too tight. Okay. This will be the final mock install. It's attached to its board. I will eventually paint it black and put some screws in it, or like I said, I'd like to strap over it using these points on either side with like a bungee. But basically this is where it sits. So it actually does make contact right there, but I don't actually move the seat back that far, so that will work. Alrighty, what I'm working on right here is I've got the wiring loom here. I'm not 100% sure which one of these goes to which switch. I think this is supposed to be the one that I've got hooked up with the yellow and the dark green. But we'll see. Either way, I can just switch them back here at the very back. So this is the one I'm actually going to hook up. And then that one needs the blue and white. This is going to have to get wrapped up somewhere, probably down here. This plugs in like so. Oop, come on now. Fresh plug. Hopefully it's not gonna, there we go. Giving you problems. Go grab a few zip ties and get it done. And here we go. That's the relay just set off for the locker. And I don't see any leaks in that system there. You'll notice right there in front of the shock, those two lines running down together. The one with the silver fitting there, that's the air locker line. You can see it right there on top of the diff. And then when I release it, bleeds off, and that's off. So assuming the locker functions properly and it's getting proper air, it now has a front locker.